Hello everyone, this is Gabriel from Untitled here, and today we are going to do a pick a card reading on the life that we can expect after the current lockdown, or in Singapore we call it the circuit breaker. So in this pick a card reading, we'll take a look at what's going to happen for you, as well as some of the guidance that you can take to begin to deal with some of the things that arises after the current lockdown and circuit breaker. So this pick a card reading is exclusively time sensitive. Okay, so it's only going to be valid for this period only. Okay, so if you're ready, here we go. We are now at the card selection of the pick a card reading, and you will realize that how I'm doing it today seems to be very different from how I usually do it. The cards are not deployed, so you will see me shuffling the cards and doing the reading kind of live. The selection process involves these little circular post-its. Okay, so I've written down some of the things that we might all be looking forward to after the current lockdown and circuit breaker. Okay, so we have bubble tea, retail and shopping, gym, yoga and fitness classes, meeting your loved ones, as well as dine-in. So these are not meant to be indicative of the selection process of this pick a card reading, which means that it doesn't have to be that, the thing that I'm most looking forward to after this lockdown is to meet my loved ones, so I'm gonna pick this one. Okay, no, it's not really, it doesn't work that way. It's a little bit whimsical today, so just look at these and just decide for yourself which one calls out to you. Okay, these are just meant to be the names of the different piles. Okay, so we have pile A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, and each of them has a corresponding crystal. I'll be using the crystals as indication as well. Okay, we have red coral. This is Smoky Quartz. Okay, this is black Tourmaline. Hey, and we have, this is an Arabic stone, calligraphy stone or Arabic stone. It's for channeling the Akashic, etc. This is a red Jasper palm stone. Okay, so all you have to do at the moment is to just take 3 deep breaths, and just decide, and just ask yourself which one is the one that you are going to pick. Okay, so if you need some more time, just take a pause and just look at the 5 choices, and really just pick the one that calls out to your intuition the most. Okay, and when you're ready, just go straight up to the corresponding timestamp in this video. You should be able to see the corresponding timestamp in the description of this video, and just click it and it will jump into the segment of the pick a card reading for you. Okay, so I'll see you at the different piles. Hello all of you who picked pile A. So this is your pick a card reading with regards to what you can expect after the lockdown and circuit breaker, and some of the guidance that you will have to, well, you don't have to follow, but you can follow to help you better manage whatever circumstances that might come up after this circuit breaker. Okay, so pile A, the red coral pile, the bubble tea pile, and let's take a look at what's coming up for you. So I'm going to just move this away, and I am going to shuffle the cards. So these are the cards, my Paulina Tarot. I'm just gonna shuffle the cards, and I'm gonna start with 3 cards to tell us about the story of what's gonna happen after your circuit breaker. Okay, so I'm gonna pick 3 cards: first, second, and third. Let's go for the third card. Okay, let's see what's coming up. Oh, reverse moon, we have reverse king of swords, and we have the reverse lover. So all your cards are reversed, so let's see what's coming up. So I will start with giving a very general kind of indication of what these cards mean. So the moon talks about the unconscious. When it's reversed, it's sort of saying that, this unconscious that is deep within you has sort of come out to play. Okay, and it's not always in a good way. Sometimes it means that certain habits that you have within you, that you have sort of repressed, suppressed, now it's sort of springing up all over again, and it's as though this dam to the unconscious has sort of unleashed itself, and it's making life very messy. It's a little bit like you have no control over your fear and your insecurity. Okay, we'll talk more about this later. The second card is King of Swords reverse. So King of Swords is usually a figure of authority. Sometimes it means your bosses. It could also be about communication, or the lack of communication, or your inability to sort of communicate and sort of like bring yourself together, especially in matters with regards to work. Swords, it tends to be very mental, so this could be about work. Okay, let's look more into this later. And the Lovers, when I see this card, it feels like it's about relationships with people, about meeting your loved ones. Okay, and it's reversed, so there's something about it that's a little bit amiss. So I almost feel like the very first thing that I feel when I look at these part of cards is that there is a sense of insecurity, okay, which I think really is talked about by this moon card. When it's reversed, it's usually this sense of insecurity, this subconscious habit that just unleash itself, so I'm getting a sense that perhaps when you go back to life as per normal after the lockdown and circuit breaker, you're going to take some time to readjust to that rhythm again. Okay, because the moon talks about some kind of unconscious rhythm. It feels like you may be so used to this current rhythm of working from home, of isolation. After all, it is 8 weeks, that when you go back to work, even though there's a part of you that is like open to it again, it's going to make you feel a little bit insecure because things are not the same for you anymore. It's not so simple like you are readjusting yourself to the rhythm of life before lockdown. It's not so simple because you have honed some habits within you, because of this circuit breaker. So when you go back to it again, this readjustment can sort of eat you up from inside. It can also make you feel a little bit insecure because things are no longer the same and you have to adjust to this change again. Okay, so this is a little bit uncomfortable for me. Now, King of Swords has this sense of work. I mean, it's almost, my vibe of it is almost definitely about work, and it feels like, because kings are the masters of the particular suits. Okay, so King of Swords, Master of Swords. Okay, so it feels almost like your expertise in the work that you do has sort of just gone haywire again, because now that you're going back to the normal life post circuit breaker, post lockdown, it feels like it doesn't come as naturally to you. Your expertise, your mind, your mind, Swords it's almost definitely about your mind and your skills. Okay, it feels like your mind doesn't feel as sharp as before. It can't handle the rigor of life and work post lockdown, post circuit breaker. So it can feel a little bit stressful. And I am thinking that perhaps this is why you are feeling, a little bit insecure, because your rhythm has sort of like gone out of whack again because of this circuit breaker. It feels like you have to readjust back to it, and you have taken up certain habits, and now your mind just doesn't work the same as before. Okay, now with regards to your loved ones, okay, I'm getting a sense that it's not as simple. It's not like, okay, post circuit breaker, post lockdown, I'm gonna be in touch with the people that I love again. I'm gonna be in touch with my relationships, with the people that I care about. I'm getting a sense that there will be an adjustment period. Okay, I mean, after all, after the post lockdown, I mean, experts have said that even when the lockdown ends and the circuit breaker ends, it doesn't mean that life goes back to normal. There's a period of readjustment, and it feels like this card talks about the period of readjustment with your loved ones. Okay, it's not like you can go back to that normal life where you can just meet them for lunch, for dinner, or you can hang out with them, go to their place, stay over, that kind of thing. This feels like there will be a period of uncomfortable adjustment period with regards to your relationship. Okay, and I mean, let's just be honest here. We are still in Venus retrograde period, so I'm not surprised if relationship doesn't feel as comfortable as it should be, because it does take some time. Venus retrograde reinspects the nature of a relationship. So these seems to be the story of your life post circuit breaker and post lockdown. So the sense I'm getting also is that it's not actually really that bad. If you are fearing that things might be horrible after post circuit breaker and lockdown, that I have to go back to life as it is, and as per normal, and my habits and everything has to be readjusted again. The good news is it doesn't feel like it's going to be that bad. Okay, sure, we have two major arcanas here in reverse, and we have a court card in reverse, but to be honest, it doesn't feel like you are going to expect like terrible things to happen. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two guidance card. Okay, I'm going to draw two guidance card from here. Okay, let's just see what's coming up for you. Okay, first card and second card. Let's just see what's going on. Okay, we have Saint Germain, karma releasing. Okay, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. Okay, and we have Duaku, Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path, take one step at a time to happiness. So I get a sense that the adjustment period will be a little bit difficult. Okay, it's not terrible or bad, but you do have to release certain things. You do have to make room for you need to release certain stuff and certain habits that you have sort of inculcate during the circuit breaker and lockdown. Perhaps certain bad habits. It could also be certain expectations that you have about what your life need to look like post circuit breaker and lockdown. Okay, and this card is saying that there's no point resisting the difficulty. It's more important that you focus on your goals, move beyond the drama, and just release what needs to be released, whether it is habits or expectations, so that you can make room for the positive that will come out from going back to life post circuit breaker, post lockdown. Okay, so this card is essentially about transmutation. So focus on good, don't look so much at the bad, because guess what? It's not gonna go away. Okay, and this card is I guess this card is the saving grace, and the guidance is really saying that you are on a path, take one step at a time to happiness, so just let things unfold naturally. Don't be anxious about readjusting back to normal, because the normal that you had before lockdown and circuit breaker is really just a construct. It's not really normal. It's just normal because you are used to it. Okay, so just take small steps to readjusting back to your life post circuit breaker and lockdown. Okay, so these are really good cards, I would say. So I would say don't need to worry so much about it. Okay, so I hope this works for you. Don't forget to like this video, and if this channel works for you, please subscribe. And if you would like to drop me a line to arrange a session with me, please do, because these cards can only tell you so much. It is a pick a card reading. It is pertaining to the masses. It's a little bit vague. It's a little bit generalized. It's not meant to be specific to you. I'm happy to arrange a session with you if you're keen. And share this video with your friends, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye! Alright, those of you who picked second pile, retail and shopping, pile B, or the Smoky Quartz pile, this is your pick a card reading on what you can expect after post circuit breaker, post lockdown, and some of the guidance that you can begin to take for you to manage your life after the lockdown and circuit breaker. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the crystal aside. I'm gonna put this to one side. Okay, I'm gonna pick 3 cards from here. I'm gonna give it a really nice shuffle because I just did parlay. Gonna card the deck. So 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. It feels like you have a 4th card coming up actually. Do you have a 4th card and a 5th card? Yeah, it feels like you have a 4th card, so I'm just gonna give you 4 cards. Okay, let's see what's coming up. Knight of Cups. We have Reverse 4 of Swords. We have 2 of Pentacles. And we have, lastly, Reverse 6 of Pentacles. Okay, it's a little bit shiny here, so I'm just gonna show you guys the card. Okay, so let's see what's coming up. So for all of you who picked pile B, I think the standout for me is the 4 of Swords reverse. Okay, because 4 of Swords generally talks about retreating. Okay, retreating, taking a rest, retreating, and it's reversed. So very literally, it's like saying, this card is talking about emerging from a retreat, emerging from rest. Okay, coming out of it. Okay, I get a sense that you guys are going to be quite idealistic. Because Knight of Cups is an idealist. It's an idealist. This is an idealistic card, so I'm gonna suggest that the first thing that comes to my mind is that you guys are going to be very idealistic with regards to what post lockdown, post circuit breaker would look like. Okay, it's almost a little bit like you are pursuing the Holy Grail. It's like, oh, post lockdown, post circuit breaker, things are gonna be great. I'm gonna do this, and one of the things about the Knight of Cups is that knights are always on a mission. Okay, and out of the 4 knights, okay, this is the most, I would say, the most unrealistic. Okay, it's almost like being in a dream, still dreaming in a sense. Okay, so I'm going to suggest that you guys are going to come out from this circuit breaker and lockdown being a little bit unrealistic and idealistic about what life is or should be. Okay, and so this card is about emergence for sure. It's like you're gonna come out of it, and it feels like you're gonna be very ready. Like, yeah, I'm so ready to come out from this circuit breaker. Things are gonna be great. Okay, now this card says that you are going to be superbly busy. Okay, so busy is a good thing. Coming out from a circuit breaker, from the lockdown, you're going to be supremely busy. Okay, you're going to be juggling 2 things. You're going to be juggling two areas of life. It could also be that suddenly you have a lot of work that you need to juggle, okay, and but you are in some way you are still balancing quite well. You see you're standing on one leg on a horse that is sort of going quickly towards a singular direction. Okay. Now the sense I'm getting from this card is that you may be the moment you come up from the circuit breaker and lockdown, you're going to be swamped. Okay, you're going to be swamped by different work, different projects, and it feels a little bit like there's a part of you that's itching for it. There is part of you that is itching for work, for yeah, there's itching for this business, and you are so willing to just pour yourself into it and just go ahead with it. Okay, so this is a good card in the sense that you're going to be busy, you're going to be supremely busy, which is great. Okay, but this card does suggest that you might be selling yourself short. Okay, you might be so willing to do so much work, to be busy, that you are selling yourself short. Okay, this card usually is about giving and receiving, and it usually has a sense of fairness to it, but it's reversed, so it could mean that you may be so willing to just do more projects. If for example, if you are in a freelance business and your business is heavily affected by the COVID-19, the lockdown and the circuit breaker, the moment the circuit breaker ends, you may be so willing to just jump right into it that you just lose yourself in the business. Okay, so this is not a bad card, but what it can mean is that you may just allow yourself to jump into it because you want to make up for the losses that you have had for the last 1 to 2 months because of the lockdown and circuit breaker. Okay, so this means that you might allow yourself to you might allow yourself to give heavy discount for work. You might let yourself take a lot of work for very little money because you want to make up for the losses, and this in general just means that you will get tired. You may feel like the giving and receiving is not fair. Okay, and coincidentally this is still part of the Venus retrograde, because Venus is about giving and receiving, and we're still in Venus retrograde at the moment. Okay, it's not going to go away until end June, early July. Okay, so these seems to be the things that that will happen to you. Okay, now I also feel like it could be that you are juggling so many freelance projects, you are juggling with so many things that the giving and receiving is just not fair. Okay, it's like perhaps you're not enjoying as much. You are not you're not resting. It feels like you're so busy that you're not resting. Okay, because it's also about energy exchange. And this one is reverse is saying that the exchange, the transaction and the exchange in energy is not immediately fair. Okay, so you might be overworked. Okay, so let's look at some guidance that you can take. I'm gonna take 2 cards from here. Okay, let's just see what's coming up. Ooh, okay, you have Serapis Bay, Ascension, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is there. Okay, and we have, just see which 3 cards do I pick. Feels like the middle one. Yes, the middle one. Okay, and you have Kuan Yin, care and compassion, choose to be loved, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. Okay, now these 2 cards are very, very strange and very, very different. Yeah, let's see what's coming up. Okay, so for the first card, Serapis Bay, Ascension, I just get a sense that you need to remember why you are doing what you're doing. Okay, you need to remember the purpose of you doing the things that you do. And your purpose is not to get busy. Your purpose is not to give discount so that you can make up for the lost time or lost business opportunity. Okay? Your purpose is your purpose alone. You know best what your purpose is. Okay? And this card says that you need to move into the very true nature of what you are really doing, why you're doing what you're doing, okay? And you need to realign yourself to that purpose. Remember that, you as a person, you want to ascend. Okay, when I say ascend, I don't mean it necessarily in the spiritual way, like I'm gonna ascend to be of a different caliber in terms of my spirituality. No, that's not what I meant. What I mean is that you as a person, you like to improve yourself. Okay, you want to be better, you want to grow. Focus on the growth and not so much on the money or the lost opportunity in the last 2 months. Okay, now this card, it says very clearly, choose to be loved, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. Yes, I think this card is not just about helping other people, okay, whatever is it that you do, but this card also talks about having that care and compassion for yourself. Just remember to have some self-care, be compassionate for yourself, and just take care of yourself, even after the circuit breaker. Okay, I know it is very tempting to say that, I have rested so much during the circuit breaker and lockdown period that now it's time to charge again. Just charge and just go straight ahead because I've rested too much previously. Okay, but it's not really the case. It's not really the case. Because every moment is different. Okay, and I think also forgive yourself for taking a chill pill in the last 1 to 2 months, because it's really not your fault. Okay, of course you can say that I could still work harder, there are still ways for me to work harder. So I've slacked off the last time, so now it's time for me to just go full speed ahead. Okay, no, come on, just give yourself some care and compassion. You can still move ahead forward with valor, with courage, and with a lot of rigor. Okay, but at the same time, taking care of yourself. So these are the readings I have for you. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Share these with all your friends, and if you ever want to have like a more personalized reading, because this can be quite general, it is not catered and personalized to you. So if you ever want to do a reading, just drop me a line and we can talk about it. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello everyone, those who have chosen Pile C, the gym, yoga and fitness classes pile, and the black Tourmaline pile, this is your pick a card reading. And if you're ready, let's get started. I'm just gonna put this aside. I'm gonna shuffle the cards over here. Okay, I'm just gonna cut the deck. 3 cards, 2, 3, great. Okay, let's just see what's coming up. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the reverse 8 of Cups, and we have King of Swords. Okay, let's see what all this is about. So I'm going to start off with a very basic interpretation of the 3 cards over here. Page of Pentacles is, it's almost always a student card. Okay, so if you are a student, this could represent you. If you're not a student, this could be about you learning some kind of skills, some kind of skills, doing some kind of course. Okay, and 8 of Cups is always about moving forward into something, because you are sort of done with you're so done with things. Okay, you're so done with it, that you're moving on to something. Okay, but you got to reverse. So it could mean that you are going back to something. Okay, what that is, let's take a look later. So King of Swords is about some kind of mastery with regards to skill, with regards to perhaps communication matters. Okay, uh, so swords are about communication or writing. Having some kind of so King of Swords is about someone having some kind of authority and mastery over specific skills in writing. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick another card to see what is it that you're going back to. Okay, let me just see. Huh. Okay. Yeah. So this card doesn't quite say what is it that you're going back to. It could be some kind of communication. But above all, this card has a sense of hesitation and a little bit of that regret, I would say. Um, yeah, because this person is carrying 4 swords and he's looking back at the 3 swords, and because he can't carry all swords, all the 7 swords, right? It's gonna be super heavy. So he's taking the 4 swords and he's looking back and wondering whether these 3 swords will be used against him in the future. So the first thing that comes immediately to me is that it feels like during the circuit breaker and lockdown, you have taken up to picking up some skills. You have took to picking up some skills, perhaps some courses online, and you actually really enjoy it. You really enjoy having the time and space to just pour into learning something new, learning something that's interesting, that you are curious about. The interesting part about this card and this card is that it's completely opposite, right? This is someone who learns, okay? This is someone who presumes a sense of mastery and a sense of competency. Now, what's interesting to me is that these 2 cards are talking about the same person, but it's referring to competency of different methods. Okay, so this is the thing that perhaps you are learning about. Okay, some kind of skill. This is something that you are good at. Okay, and possibly you have authority over, that you are sort of paid for. Okay, and it feels like you really enjoy doing this. Okay, and it's almost like this person is and when it's right side up, it's moving from left to right. Okay, but when it's reversed, it's almost like it is moving back to this. So it could be that the time that you have during the lockdown and circuit breaker has given you opportunity to do some kind of learning. Okay, and you can't get enough of it. You can't get enough of it. Okay, and it feels like you're wondering whether it's time for you to try something else. Okay, I'm not suggesting that this is about career change. It could be, okay, but you're definitely contemplating and making a decision about something. There's a hesitation here. You're wondering that, okay, if I'm doing A, should I really be leaving B behind? Would I regret not going for B? Okay, so this card has a hesitation energy to it. There might be some level of responsibility here. This is the adult, this is the child. It feels like you can't just let go of you can't just let go and say, you know what, I want to go into learning. I don't want to do my job. I don't want to be responsible for my job. I want to go back to being this curious person here that is interested in learning. It could also be that during the circuit breaker, you were in the position to think about doing some kind of studies, doing some kind of, perhaps some kind of MBA, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certification of some kind, okay? Perhaps during the circuit breaker and lockdown period, you have a taster of what learning those things look like. Maybe you have time to read the relevant books on the subject matter, on the maybe the degree or the postgraduate education that you were considering to begin with, and now that you're exposed to it even more, you spend more time to look at it, you want more of it, okay? But you're wondering whether it's a good idea to just leave what this is about, which is about being socially responsible, being responsible in your job, your mastery over your job, and going to this state of being a child, of learning, of curiosity. It doesn't feel like this is an immediately big thing. It does feel like this is something that you need to look at a later time. Okay, perhaps end of this year or next year. So now I'm going to pick 2 guidance cards from this deck. Okay, I'm going to pick 2 guidance cards and see what's coming up. And I feel like I need to give you a third one, so I'm just going to give you a third one, right? Okay, let's just see what's coming up. So you got Hilarion, Divine Healing. Okay. It says honor your sensitivity, retreat, recharge, and heal you. Your light supports others. And Gaia, Earth connection, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. Okay. And we have, oh, what an interesting guidance that you have. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding, truth is being revealed, deep insights are coming from heaven and astral realm. Okay, so okay, just a quick one. Okay, very clear to me. These 2 cards are sort of like similar. Okay, the energy is very green. It's very earth-based, sort of, kind of, and so this is like Earth, and this is like outer space. Okay, because Lady Venus, that this is like from the astral realm. This is very galactic energy. This card is a galactic energy kind of card. So this is like Earth, and this is like outer space. Okay, so it feels like okay, so this card first and foremost says you need to stay grounded. Okay, you still live on Earth, you still need to pay your bills, stay grounded, and be practical for the moment. At least for the very moment, just be practical for now. Okay, and this card says that okay, I think this card, what it offers is that you are feeling the way you're feeling about your job because you haven't had the time to do something that recharges you. Okay, you haven't had time to really recharge yourself, recharge your life. And I think what the circuit breaker lockdown does for you is to give you time to recharge. And how do you recharge? You recharge by learning, by taking time to learn, to be curious about things that you are curious about. Okay, whatever skills that you are learning or picking up. Okay, and this card, this card comes off a reason, right? It says that you're actually really interested in this because you haven't had time to heal, you haven't had time to really rest and recharge and heal yourself. Okay, it could also be that during the circuit breaker you didn't really had you had a glimpse or had a taste of what it feels like to really just rest and recharge. Okay, and when you go back to life as per normal after the circuit breaker and lockdown, it feels like this thing is going to be gone again. Okay, so I think what's important here is to remind yourself that whatever joy that you feel, whatever curiosity that you have about learning, being the learner, okay, comes from a space of you wanting to recharge and heal yourself. And the way you recharge and heal yourself is to learn something new, to be interested in something that excites you. Okay? And I think what's important for you is to find space to continue that learning, to continue that acquisition of skills. Okay, even in a post-lockdown, post-circuit breaker world. Okay, so that can nourish you, that can nurture you, that can heal you, and make you feel better, make you feel um, less like you are responsible. You need to be in mastery all the time. You know that you can go back to being this curious person that you naturally are. Remember that this is the third card that we pick. It's not, it's not supposed to be here, but this feels like an additional message for you. I'm also not sure. I'm not particularly sure what kind of learning you have done during the circuit breaker and lockdown period. If you're doing some kind of spiritual learning, spiritual subjects, whether it's about crystal or Reiki or any spiritual discipline, this card says that insights can come in for you so that you understand the things a little bit better, a little bit more. I think what this card is about is that actually you don't need to jump into this education, this learning full time. Okay, because in some way it's sort of like your soul learns, your soul downloads the information and downloads the understanding of whatever is it that you're learning, okay, in its own way, in a very subtle, in its own way. So you will, even if you are not doing it full time, you are still learning it in some way, because you're open to, you're so curious that in some way the divine is sort of helping you. Okay, I'm also getting a sense that you can call upon divine guidance to help you to learn the whatever subject that you are learning. So don't need to worry so much about it at the moment. This just offers some kind of hope that even if you're not learning full time, it doesn't mean that you're not learning completely. You are still learning in some way. You're still learning and you're still open to the learning on a soul and deeper level. It may not be conscious, okay, but at least on a soul and deeper level, you're still learning. Now is not the time to just jump completely to doing this full time, whatever is it that you're learning. Okay, and this could be something that you're learning for like a new occupation or whatsoever. Okay, I'm getting a sense that now is not the time. You need to stay grounded. Give yourself time to do this, definitely, right? Give yourself time to do this. And trust that even when you're not actively or consciously putting time to learn this, you're still sort of downloading the learning on a deep soul level. Okay, because if you know a little bit about past lives, sometimes it could be a case that when you're learning something that you're interested in it because there's a familiarity to it. That sort of in some way in your past life you've learned about it before. So it is possible to relearn it, okay, by recalling it from a divine source. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Do like this video if you think this video is great and it works for you, and share this video with all your friends. And if you ever want a proper personalized reading, because this can be quite generalized, after all it is a pick a card reading for everybody. So if you want like a personalized reading, drop me a line and let's arrange for a session. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, and bye bye. Hey everyone who picked Pile D, the one on meeting the loved ones, okay, and the one with the beautiful calligraphy stone. I don't know if you can see this calligraphy stone, Arabic stone. Okay, this is your pick a card reading, and if you're ready, let's get started. So I'm just gonna put all these to the side. Okay, just put it to the side because it's not the most important thing. Cut the deck one more time. Okay, one more time. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Good, this is right. That's right. That's good. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's open the cards. Uh. Uh. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's really interesting because you got both the lovers and the devil reverse. Okay. And in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, they are sort of the same card, but the devil card is like the perverted version of the lover's card. Let's talk more about this later. You also have a Six of Wands. Now I think this is a really good card. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna start with a very basic meaning of what's going on based on the cards. Now the lovers, yeah, it's almost always about relationship. Okay, and I'm gonna pay more attention about it being a relationship in this card reading because it is the Venus retrograde period, and you also pick meeting the loved one. So I guess subconsciously, this is something that you are picking because um, this is something that's important to you. Okay, relationships. Okay, now when reverse, lovers, when it's upright, it's about relationship, it's about duality. When reverse, it talks about relationship, but sort of like the two characters are not meeting or seeing eye to eye, or it could be this could be about friendship. Okay, so yeah, let's look more into it later. Okay. Now, devil. Now, devil is always about some kind of deal, some kind of deal that um, people have with each other. Okay, and I'm gonna focus it as a deal because this card, lovers, is about relationship and it's also about transaction. Okay, so the devil also has two characters, so it's about some kind of transaction and relationship. Okay, and the devil is always about some kind of transaction and relationship in which um, the deal that people have with each other is sort of codependent. It's sort of like in some way they're using each other. Okay, like the woman is using the devil is using the woman. They're sort of using each other. Okay, and when it's reversed, it feels like that deal doesn't work anymore. Now, Six of Wands is about victory. It's about taking flight. I also get a sense that it could be about flying solo as well. Yeah, flying solo. This is a fairly optimistic card. So, okay, the first thing that glares at me is that this is in particularly about a relationship. Or either a relationship or some kind of transaction because we are still in Venus retrograde period, okay, like I said, right? So it feels like during the circuit breaker period, some matters with regards to some kind of transaction or relationship, whether it is with your particular lover or with a family member, it's sort of like the two, relationship, the two people, they don't quite meet. It's a little bit rough. There's some kind of friction. They don't really meet together. Okay. So this card has that vibe. Okay, that's some kind of relationship. I wouldn't call it like a breakdown, but it's very frictious. It's there's a lot of friction. Now this card feels like there's a sense of abandonment with regards to the relationship. Okay, it feels like one of these characters has decided that fuck you. I'm just gonna I'm done with this transaction. Okay, now do note that if this is about some kind of relationship breakdown or some kind of relationship abandonment, do note that the roots of it the seed of its destruction was already there in the first place. Okay, and now now it's when people, one or both parties, realize that this relationship is not working anymore. It's not fair for one or the other. Okay, it's not fair for one or the other, or that perhaps the distance, because of the circuit breaker and lockdown, people can't meet. Perhaps the distance has sort of made the people who are in this transaction and relationship, perhaps the distance has given them a sense that, oh, I don't really need the other person. I don't really need to depend on the other person so heavily. Okay, so this gives me a sense that deal, all relationships are a kind of transaction. It's a kind of deal. Like, I promise to love you if you do this for me. You will love me because I provide this for you. It's all, it doesn't have to be money. Okay, it could be as simple as I'm in love with you. I'm in this relationship with you because you make me feel comfortable, and this is what you are giving me. You're providing for me, and you are in this relationship with me because I'm always around to give you helpful advice. I'm always around to I'm there for you when you are upset. Okay, so all relationship is a kind of transaction. It may not always be obvious, like like it's a monetary thing, like I'm with you because you have money. It's not always like that. Okay, but when two people are in a relationship, they're always exchanging something, whether it's their time, their company, their care, the comfort, and perhaps the distance in this instance, perhaps the distance during the circuit breaker and lockdown has got one or both parties to realize that, oh, actually, this relationship is not as I'm not as dependent on this relationship as I think. I don't need this transaction as much as I think. Okay, which therefore brings me to the last card, which is about flying solo. Okay, about independence. Okay, about going ahead with optimism and independence. Okay, now the good news about this card, this spread, is that it doesn't feel like it's a complete breakdown. It doesn't feel like one or the other person is saying that, oh, I'm gonna break up with you. Okay, it doesn't feel like it. It feels more like, now that both parties have some time apart from each other, they're comfortable with being on their own, flying solo. Okay, it doesn't say whether this is a good or bad thing. Okay, it's just what it is. Okay, it doesn't mean that because of a circuit breaker, I realize that I'm not with this person so much now. I realize that I don't need the person anymore, and so I'm gonna break up. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Okay, but if it does mean that, then good for you. Then you do what you need to do to renegotiate the deal of the relationship. Okay, but if it's that sense of yeah, you know what, actually, I'm happy to have some alone time. I realize that I can actually be quite independent, and perhaps um you know perhaps this is where the relationship needs to go. Two people still be in a relationship together, but not as codependent as before. Okay, and therefore renegotiate what this relationship is about. Okay, bear in mind, I'm talking about relationship in general. I'm not talking about romantic relationship. Okay, it could be romantic in nature, it could be between lovers, but it could also be about your relationship with a family member or a friend. Okay, it could, if it's a family member, it could be that I'm with my mother for so long, during this period, that because I'm always staying indoors, I can't go out. So the relationship doesn't feel as nice as before. And I realized that we are really in each other, we're always in each other's faces, and that closeness is too close, it's too much for me. So now I'm flying solo. It could be that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to pick 2 cards from this deck to serve you as guidance. Okay, so I'm gonna, okay, 2 cards guidance. I'm gonna do the card deck, and these are the 2 cards. Ta-da! Oh, we have Sanat Kumara, light activation. Shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. And we have Freya, phases and cycle. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Okay, the first thing that's coming up for me is that this card is about you being the source of your own light. Okay, so I definitely feel that this card repeats what this card is about. Okay, the sense of flying solo. You know, I get a sense that whatever relationship this spread is about, okay, it is really not going to be the same anymore. You need to start listening to your own guidance, your own sense of what to do. Okay, I get a sense that you were in a relationship that is very, very dependent on the other person, okay, be it romantic or whatsoever. The relationship is very, it feels like a relationship in which there's reliance on the other person for certain parts of your life, okay, and this card is saying that, okay, you know, now that you have a taste of your own lights during this circuit breaker and lockdown, continue to shine that light that you have shown for yourself. Okay, in some way you have evolved away, or rather from, the close knit and almost unhealthy and close and codependent nature of the relationship, and now is the time for you to, you know, fly solo and just activate yourself and be the light for yourself, and be, in some way, be dependent, be independent. Okay, and this card, so this card always comes up for my clients when there's a need for ending. Okay, so this card is about ending. It may not mean that, oh, you know, oh, I'm gonna break up, or my relationship's gonna end. It doesn't mean that, okay, but perhaps that phase of dependency, that phase of utterly close knittedness between you and the person that you're in relationship with, okay, where this spread is talking about, that phase has come to an end, okay, and it's time for you to release and move on to a more independent phase. Now, I can't say what this means for you. It's not my job to tell you what this means for you. You have to figure this out on your own. Okay? But I can tell you, this card says that, okay, a phase in the relationship has sort of ended with the lockdown and the circuit breaker. Because of the lockdown and circuit breaker, that is a trigger. Okay? It's not the root of the problem. There were already some issue that was going on, okay, and the circuit breaker just hastened the ending of a specific phase. Okay, so it's time for you to just let go. Okay, so these are the cards I have for you. This is your reading. Let me know what you think. Leave a comments below. If you like this, just remember to give it a thumbs up. Okay, and share this for your friends. And if you want a personalized reading, you know, drop me a line and let's arrange something. This is still a pick a card reading, so it can be quite generalized. It's not catered to you. If you want something catered to you, let me know. Okay, so I will see you again for the next video. Alright, bye! Hello all of you who have picked Pao Yi, Dine In, pile E, and the red Jasper Palmstone pile. This is your pick a card reading on what you can expect post lockdown, post circuit breaker. Okay, if you're ready, I'm gonna get started. I will put these to the side. Okay, let's see what's coming up. Oh, Four of Pentacles. You have Temperance. And you have reverse Page of Wands. I'm going to start the reading by going through the basic meaning of each card. Okay, so Four of Pentacles is about hoarding something. Okay, it could be money, it could be whatever. Okay, but basically the hoarding happens because you want to be secure, you don't want to let go. Okay, now Temperance is about moderation. It's about moderating things to a fine balance. If you look at the card, the woman is sort of standing on a diamond, that is standing on a point, on another diamond's point, you know. So it's like a fine, delicate balance, a mixing of both fire and water. Okay, so this card is always about a sense of transmutation, a sense of transmuting, you know, when you have the perfect formula of A and B which seem to be clashing one another, when you mix them together in a way that is just the right balance, then you can create something magical and beautiful. Okay, so we'll look more into this card later. Okay, I think this is going to be the key card for your reading. And you have the Page of Wands reverse. Okay, Page of Wands is a youthful energy. It's an energy of curiosity and excitement. You know, you can look at it like a child seeing fire for the first time, and it's just like wow, you know. So there's this kind of sense of inspiration. There's a sense of like excitement and creative, raw creative energy. Okay, but when it's reversed, this raw creative energy is a little bit scattered, I would say. Okay, it's a little bit scattered. It's not focused. Okay, and you know it is the Page of Wands. You know, when it's reversed, it's a child's energy. How focused can a child be, right? So these are the basic reading. I'm just gonna go deeper. Let's see what's coming up. Okay, the first thing that comes to me is that this card is there's a sense of stubbornness to this card. Okay, a sense of stubbornness and reluctance. It's almost like that petulant, stubborn child. This card is sort of like, no, you know, I don't want to, no, I don't want. It's that sense of petulant child throwing a tantrum, that's holding something. But I also get a sense of neglect, okay, because of this little cat-like figure over here. And you know the difference between a coin and this cat-like figure is that this is inanimate. This is not real. This is an object. Okay? Whereas this is the real, really real thing. It's warm-blooded, it's real. It offers a chance of life and joy. So I don't know what context this is about, but I get a sense that if it is about work, there could be this quick scramble to the old ways of doing things, of doing work, okay, and an unwillingness to take risk, okay, and be open to what's new, what's coming in, okay, and you know, this card offers that it gives that sense of like missing an opportunity because you're too busy holding on to what you already have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open a card underneath to see what it can clarify. Okay, I got the Queen of Cups. Okay, now I'm very sure, more so than just now, that what you're holding on to are all ways of doing things. Okay, all ways of doing things that makes you feel secure. Okay. And this card, Queen of Cups reverse, has a sense of insecurity, when it's reversed especially, it's sort of like emotionally it just sort of the insecurity just pours out and just unleash, you know, and you're sort of clinging on to something for the sake of security, okay, because you are so used to it, okay, that you're unwilling to let go and go for something new. So, you know, this the temperance talks about balance. It talks about moderation. And what this card is really saying is that, okay, I think on a level that is more intuitive for you, you know that you can't be doing this. You know that you have to let go. You know that it's about trying to find the new normal. Okay, this card is about the new normal. The new normal is not about something completely new. Okay, it will take a little bit of the old together with what has happened during the circuit breaker and lockdown, and you mix it to create the new normal. Okay, you know that you have to create a new normal. You can't do things the same way anymore. And the temptation and the easy thing for you to do and the temptation for you is to go back to the old ways, to cling on to security whenever it's possible. But on a very conscious, on a very super conscious level that no, it's time for you have to do the new normal. You can't Things can't go back to the same anymore, and you have to find like a great balance between the old and the new, so that you can readapt yourself to the new normal. Okay, and now the Page of Wands suggests that I guess it suggests that hesitation with regards to this something new, this new idea, this new inspiration that may come to you. There is a hesitation. It's almost a sense of like delayed, kind of like a. It's like you're inspired, but you are scared of it. You don't really want to go for it. There's hesitation. Okay, to the new normal, to what's new, to what has opened up for you during the circuit breaker, and it's almost like, I'm not sure if I want to go back to it. I'm not sure if I want to have what I have during the circuit breaker and lockdown. I would rather go back to what's old, what's tried and tested, what I know to be safe. Okay, and this card can suggest that, yeah, it's a little bit like I'd rather I'm not open to new things. Okay, I'm gonna open this card because I don't know, I just feel like I need to open it. Okay, yeah, Eight of Swords reverse. Okay, this card suggests that you're just trapping yourself. You are just trapping yourself with your belief that, I can't adapt to the new. I can only focus on the old ways. It's more tried and tested. It's safer. This card suggests that you trap yourself in that position, believing that it's a self-limiting belief that you can't adjust to the new. You can't have the new normal. You can't be open to new things. Okay, some of the common excuses and reasons that we have is that I'm too old. I can't try something new now. I've done this so many times already. I'm better at this. I'm better at going back to the old ways. But it's really just a self-limiting belief. Okay, so I'm gonna open two cards from this deck over here. Okay, two guiding cards. Let's see what's coming up. Okay, so two cards, one, two. Great. I think there's a third card for you, so I'm gonna open the third card for you. Okay, so open the cards. Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. You have Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Oh, interesting. And the last card, Lord Ganesh, Infinite Abundance. Obstacles are being removed. spiritual support and connections are increasing. Okay, now these two cards, Joan of Arc and Mary Magdalene, the energy is very similar. Okay, it's all about articulation. It's all about saying, speaking something new, sharing, and articulation. And if you focus on the elements of the cards, you realize that the flowers here and the flowers here, okay, they are the same. So I'm just gonna like give you a closer look. See, they are the same flowers. Okay, so it feels like these two cards are one and the same. Okay, at least it's designed to be one and the same. It's very interesting because Page of Wands is also creative. It's also it's like acting on inspiration, acting on a particular idea that you have. You know, this Page of Wands is also about some kind of inspiration and idea that one has by sort of not forming or coming together, which is very interesting because this is about, you know, this is an incredibly creative card. It's about putting two things together and giving birth to something new. Okay, so it feels like there's some kind of creative block here. If you are a creative personnel, it feels like this card reading is about some kind of creative block, you know, because you would like to stick to the old ways of doing things, old ways of knowing, old ways of producing something. These two cards for me, I think the important part is that you need to put things out. You need to put it out of there. Okay, that's more important than your fear, okay, of insecurity, your fear of doing something completely new. Okay, you know, it does say that release the fear of persecution. Okay, so you know, whatever is it that you're afraid of, focus on what is it you can teach, what is it that you can put out there, rather than being held back by your fear. This could be about new ways of communication, new ways of putting your stuff out there, putting your work out there, whatever that means for you, okay? And these two cards says focus on putting it out, focus on the message, focus on the sharing, rather than focusing on your fears and insecurity, okay? And you know, the last card that comes up for you is Lord Ganesh, and this card is about, you know, obstacles, removal of obstacles. Okay, I guess this card is it's a card that is sort of like a blessing. It's sort of saying that, you know, don't worry so much. You just need to do what you need to do. Any obstacles that you think that's in your way, it will go away. It will go away, and you'll be able to combine A and B together and produce something and act on your inspiration. Okay, be creative in some way. So you know, focus on the doing, focus on what you need to put outwards, put out there. Okay, and you know, trust that the obstacles will be removed, and trust that, you know, you will go back to, you will create this new normal for yourself. You know, I think it's really important to emphasize and realize that the new normal doesn't look the same for everybody. Okay, some people's new normal may be more new than others. Okay, and it's perfectly okay if out of the 10 things that you're holding on to, you know, your new normal only changes one thing. That's fine. Don't need to worry about it. Okay, the important part is to focus on the message that you're putting out, focus on the sharing and the message. Okay, and clear away any obstacles that's coming for you. Okay, so I hope this reading works for you, those who paid Pile E. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. If you enjoyed this video, if you got something out of this, do give it a quick thumbs up. And you know, if you ever want like a personalized reading, because these are generalized to begin with, these are very general because you know it is after all pick a card reading for everybody. So if you want something more personalized, you know, drop me a line and let's arrange for a session together. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.